And we're back again at Leviticus chapter 22, verse 14. And if a man eat the holy thing unwittingly, then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it unto the priest with the holy thing. Notes. In other words, someone in the house of the priest accidentally ate of the sacrifices unwittingly, not knowing that it was actually a part of the sacrifice, and 20% of what it's worth in money then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it unto the priest with the holy thing. And he shall give it, he's basically going to give 20% of it to the remainder of the sacrifice. Verse 15, and they shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer unto the Lord, or suffer them to bear the iniquity of trespass when they eat their holy things, for I, the Lord, do sanctify them. Verse 17, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons and unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, Whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers of Israel, which are Gentile proselytes, by the way, who will offer his oblation for all his vows, and for all his freewill offerings, which they will offer unto the Lord for a burnt offering, you shall offer at your own will a male, without blemish, of the beeves, of the sheep, or of the goats. Notice, this speaks of people offering up sacrifices. Verse 20, but whatsoever has a blemish, that shall you not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you. Verse 21, and whosoever offers a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord to accomplish his vow, or a free will offering in beeves of sheep, or sheep, I should have said, it shall be perfect and to be accepted. There shall be no blemish therein. Notes, for the 100th time, these sacrifices represented Christ. I want you to get that into your head. Therefore, they must be perfect, of which the no blemish rule actually is a type of. The temptation was always there to offer a sickly animal because it wasn't worth much money anyways. Verse 22, blind or broken or maimed or having a wen or scurvy or scab, you shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto the Lord. Either a bullock or a lamb that has anything superfluous or lacking in his parts, that may you offer for a free will offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. You shall not offer unto the Lord that which is bruised or crushed or broken or cut, neither shall you make any offering thereof in your land. Neither from a Gentile's hand shall you offer the bread of your God of any of these, because their corruption is in them, and blemishes be in them. They shall not be accepted for you. Notes, in other words, you're wasting your time. There's no point to it. Verse 26, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, when a bullock or a sheep or a goat is brought forth, then it shall be 7 days under the dam. Notes, this under the dam basically means its mother. And from the 8th day, 8 days old, and thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And whether it be cow or ewe, you shall not kill it and her young both in 1 day. And when you will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto the Lord, offer it at your own will. On the same day it shall be eaten up, you shall leave none of it until the morrow. Notes, a thanksgiving offering consisted of bread, and whenever it says you shall leave none of it until the morrow, represents the fact that Christ must be accepted totally. Verse 31, therefore shall you keep my commandments and do them. I am the Lord. Neither shall you profane my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel. I am the Lord which hallow you, that brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. Notes, all of this typifies Christ and what he would do at the cross as it regards the redemption of lost humanity. That's the reason the instructions were so minute, so delicate, and so detailed. They must be followed, or they must be atoned for when we fail to do so. And of course, we know we're going to fail at all of God's laws. Can you imagine what it would be like to live back then and have all these crazy laws that just did not seem to make sense sometimes? Chapter 23. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. Notes. Israel's sacred year contained 1 weekly and 7 annual feasts, but the annual feasts were related to the weekly feast. The weekly feast was the Sabbath. The 7 annual feasts were the Passover, unleavened bread, first fruits, Pentecost, trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles. All of these proclaim the work of Christ in the plan of redemption in some form or fashion. Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation, and you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. Notes. The Feast of the Sabbath stood apart as being God's rest. It was, in fact, a prophecy and a promise of the rest of Christ that remained to the people of God, which we presently enjoy. In other words, whereas the Sabbath then was a day, now it is actually a person. And of course, we're talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. Acceptance of Him and resting in Him presently constitute the keeping of the Sabbath. Read Psalms chapter 37, verse 1 through 4, and you'll get a pretty good idea as to what this is talking about, and a little bit more. Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is the Lord's Passover. Notes. The words at evening should actually read between the evenings. In effect, at any time from sunset of one day to sunset of the next, Passover basically figures redemption as carried out by the Lord. You must keep in mind that their idea of time and space are a little bit different from ours. Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. Verse 7. In the first day you shall have an holy convocation, and you shall do no servile work therein. But you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. In the 7th day is an holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. Notes. You've got to remember that unleavened bread figured the perfect, unspotted, and unsullied life of Christ, which was offered up in sacrifice. On the 1st and 7th day, no work was to be done, signifying that salvation is not by works. And let all understand that we can know nothing of rest, and nothing of holiness, and nothing of fellowship, except on the ground of the death of Christ. It is peculiar and striking and significant and beautiful to observe that directly God's rest is spoken of, and we speak of the Sabbath in verse 3. The next thing introduced is the blood of the Paschal Lamb, symbolizing, the crucifixion of Christ. Verse 9. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the firstfruits of your harvest unto the priest. And we must stop there and pick up at Leviticus chapter 23, verse 11. Thank you very much.